I was born in 1988, which means that I got to be a child in the 90s, a teenager in the early 2000s, and an adult right now. And I gotta say that this feels like the best possible timeline for growing up in the history of mankind. Look, the internet didn't catch on until like 1998, 1999, around then when companies like AOL and Juno, the capital of Alaska, were making internet available for everybody. I used Juno, and you had to use the Juno client, which was like this terrible web browser. It just had ads stacked all over the place the entire time you were online, but it was free, and we were able to look up cheat codes for Sonic, and that's basically all that I ever used the internet for in the 90s. But that doesn't stop me from reminiscing and having nostalgic thoughts, being nostalgic about the 90s. And I feel like kids today are just missing out on a lot of the beautiful serendipitous moments that would happen just naturally whenever you would go outside as a kid. I don't know. And that's what this video is about. Going outside in the 90s. Even if a kid today wanted to go outside and have the same sort of experiences that we had growing up, they wouldn't be able to do it. A lot of my childhood was spent going outside in the morning, hopping on my bike, riding around the neighborhood and adjacent neighborhoods, physically looking around for other people that were in my age group to group up with and hang out with. A community, a small group of kids would come together and we would hang out, and we'd we would ride our bikes down to the basketball courts or the tennis courts or whatever, and we would literally make up games. We'd be on a basketball court, but we wouldn't have a basketball, we'd have a tennis ball. So instead of playing basketball, we'd make up some new game. Listen, the game's called Great Plays and Bloopers, and we're all gonna be on the same team, okay? But here's the catch. You can't touch the ball and the ground at the same time. And it was amazing. Great Plays and Bloopers was the most fun game anybody's ever played in their life. But there are so many things that I just think kids today aren't going to get to experience, like riding your bike over to your friend Jimmy's house just to knock on his door and see if he could come out to play, only to find out that he wasn't even home in the first place. And yes, I'm well aware that kids today can still go outside. The outside still exists, it's still out there, and it's still wonderful. But in the 90s, every neighborhood was popping off all the time with pickup games of street hockey, street basketball, street football, street racing, speed racer. No, that doesn't make sense. Kids would go out and build rope swings over every pond in a 5-mile radius and then spend hours flinging themselves into that dirty retention pond of water for fun. And it was amazing. And if you get thirsty, you'd go and you'd drink straight from the hose without a second thought or worry about it at all. I don't even think that today I would drink water out of a hose. That sounds super dangerous, but that's what we did as kids, and it was absolutely incredible. We'd climb trees, we'd put playing cards in the spokes of our bikes and ride around pretending like we were on motorcycles, and it was amazing. Play Pogs in the driveway, start trading our Pokemon cards. My Pokemon bring all the boys to the yard and they're like, do you want to trade cards? And I'm like, yeah, I want to trade cards, but you can't take my Charizard. Now, I know what you're thinking. The 90s are so last year. And you're right. Instead of having to hop on your bike and ride all the way over to Jimmy's house just to see if he was home and wanted to come out and play, you can simply text him or FaceTime him or call him or hook up with him on Call of Duty or whatever it is that you guys do to get together now, which is amazing. But it takes so much of the fun and the magical moments of random occurrences happening outside. I think one of the biggest things that kids are missing out on is actually Blockbuster video. Going and physically renting a movie was one of the most fun experiences you could have as a kid. You'd go in, you'd go up and down browsing every movie, reading the back of the boxes, trying to figure out which one was gonna be great. You could spend your time looking for video games, what Sega Genesis title is out that looks absolutely amazing, and there weren't online reviews telling you what to think. There weren't YouTube Let's Plays showing you the whole game before you ever got to experience it for yourself. You had to look at the cover art, think it was cool and seemed like fun, and then pop it into your Xbox, that wasn't even around, you'd pop it into your Sega Genesis and just hope that it was amazing, and a lot of the time it was. But Blockbuster video is gone. Technology has come a long way and allowed us to connect and be present with other people in a way that was never possible before. But that doesn't take away that even though the net benefit is positive, there's still a few of those things that are you just can't recreate them. Anyway, I hope you liked this video about me rambling on about the 90s. If you did, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, or maybe totally different from this. I'm just starting my channel and I hope to grow it, and I hope to see you there.